Hello, welcome along everyone. Back to, I say everyone, there's 0 people watching. Back to another pre-match live stream before the Ipswich Town Sunderland game. I've already got some people on the chat. Thane SAFC, hello, how are you doing? Casey Cameron Jude as always. Geordie Boy 29. Dan Humphrey, Evening Legends, how you doing? Yeah, thank you very much. The countdown is very nice. Playing also Adam as well. All right, guys, from Twitter. We are on YouTube, Twitter, and also our Facebook Fans React group as well. Any questions you have, just put them on the live chat. We'll answer them as best you can. Right, so tonight, lads, Ipswich Town versus Sunderland. What do you think?
Go on, Jack. I'll let you have a little chat. I'm going to just go and check all the streams. I'll be back in a few minutes, but I wanted to say hello. Thanks, everybody, for coming in, and I'll see you in a bit.
Well, I was writing about this, and I've done a podcast with an Ipswich fan, and to me, the phrase I would use tonight is potentially 0-0 written all over it. Ipswich seem to struggle with what we struggle with, which is linking the midfield of the attack, getting the ball into the final third, getting the midfielders to link up with the forwards. And score goals. They only have one fit striker at the moment. The other three are out injured. So Ipswich really struggle to score goals. I feel it's the problem with ourselves at the moment is linking the midfield of the attack, and that's apparently the same problem Ipswich have. So I could really see this being 0-0 written all over it. Can I see us getting a goal potentially? But Ipswich don't tend to be too bad defensively. I'm relatively confident going into it. They've lost 5 out of the last 6 home games. I don't think they've beat anyone in the top 8. So yeah, I'm relatively confident. I don't think we'll get beat, but it could be a bit of a low scoring game. As for Dan's comment, it's not really a new trip, to be honest, mate. I was just getting sick of hair dropping down into my eyes and my face, and I just started slicking it back. And I don't know, I'm just rocking the Charlie Methven look.
The Charlie Methven look.
I don't mind. I feel as if I want to put a Cockney accent on and start holding the pipe and stick a pair of salmon pants on like it.
Well, you're pretty good at impersonating me most of the time, aren't you? So you might as well just do that for the evening. My Sunderland 11. Brilliant. 11. Thane says Ipswich are there for the taking, missing loads of players. I also think as well that Ipswich are. Yeah. Also, Ipswich, they aren't in the best of form either, are they? At the moment, they've lost quite a few of their games. I don't know exactly. But yeah. So we do have an Ipswich fan joining us a little bit later on as well. We will be doing the quiz as well, just so everyone can look forward to that, and you can put your comments in the live chat. Because I am the master of the quiz, I have been asked tonight to be the quiz master and ask the questions. At the moment, I have 18 questions. I was meant to have 20. But
I'm not really the quiz master, are you?
I'm not. No.
Do the bare minimum and get the number acquired.
No, all right, mate. No, so I mean, I'll see how many you get though. Right, okay. So Geordie Boy Jordan says, "Call me deluded or mad, but 3-2 win tonight."
I will call me deluded or mad, mate, because there's no way Ipswich are scoring twice against us.
There's no way we're scoring 3 either. We can barely score 1. So then again, we it's a nice shirt by the way, Jack.
Yes, as Jordan was saying, came this morning. The 1990 retro shirt. Seeing it on the website, so you told us about it. I was just on it straight away. Like there was no way I was missing out. Like 35 quid, but worth every penny for me.
Yeah, I ordered that as well, and it's like I don't know. It's because I live so far down south that they just don't.
It's like I only live about a 10-minute drive from the stadium.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've been quite slow to deliver the shirt. Alex Kiriakou, that's my mate from down here in Essex. Love the Wall, Mazza. Thank you very much, Alex. Everyone seems to be a big fan of the Wall.
The
Wall. Shut up. Carl, the adopted Mackham, Thane SAFC. He says he's not predicting a score.
Come on, Carl.
Come on, Carl. You got to put a score in there. Thane SAFC again. Also, we are better away from home. That's what I said earlier. Yeah, so I'm always slightly more confident going into an away game.
Yeah, definitely.
So am I really. I think playing in the Stadium of Light, it does create that kind of atmosphere that, you know, playing in a big old stadium with no one watching. There's no atmosphere. You can sort of hear every single shout from the players, and you can also hear when someone's not saying something as well. It's a very weird atmosphere. So I think playing away from home in a bit more of an open stadium would help tonight. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Yes, the black cat draws everyone to it. Exactly.
I haven't had any compliments about my wall, the new red and white flag.
No. Mine. It's literally like the Stadium of Lights behind me, mate. It's literally like the Stadium of Lights behind you.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. I wake up every morning and think I'm in Sunderland, so there you go.
The incorrectness in that sentence is that you said you wake up every morning.
Huh? Oh, shut up, mate. I wake up every morning.
I wouldn't go 3 p.m. in the morning, like.
yeah, whatever. Right. Steve says, how are the lads? 3-0 tonight. Well, let's hope you're right, mate.
Twitter,
yeah, he's watching on Twitter because we're that good. We're available on all different streaming devices. We'll be there on Netflix soon as well. So Twitter and Facebook as well tonight, as well as YouTube. Dan Humphrey, 2-0 win for the lads. See, Adopted Mackham said, there he is. There's your score. There's your score prediction. I'll say 1-0. Hopefully that is to Sunderland. Paul, you didn't get your say on the game tonight. What do you think?
Well, we've beat them the last twice, haven't we? The last actual game I ever went to was at the stadium. Like, we beat them 1-0. I think Maguire got a goal in the 81st minute. To be honest, I think both games have been quite lucky to get the result, in my opinion. We didn't play amazing, neither did they, really. But I am still optimistic. You know what I'm like. I'm always overly optimistic. I am going to go for a win, and I think I'll go for a 2-0 win to Sunderland. But like I say, every time, any kind of win is good. I know I've had this discussion with Charlie Meth in there, or
Charlie.
I've had this discussion. I want to just quickly ask about this, actually, because Jack, this is Jack's words. He believes the football games don't have to be entertaining or enjoyable. As long as we win, he doesn't care less. Now, for me, like I still get annoyed and sort of angry, depressed even at the state of the way we perform sometimes, and that reflects when I do my reaction videos for the channel. So fair enough. I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong. If you're happy just to get the 3 points, no, honestly, I'm not. If you're happy just to get the 3 points, but I still think you're missing out. If you really think that the games don't need to be entertaining, then I think you're missing out.
I think we come from 2 different generations. So you've watched us under the Peter Reid days, other great teams. Like, the greatest team I watched was probably the team we had under Steve Bruce when we finished like about mid-tier. We finished 10th, I think. Yeah. And then when Martin O'Neill took over, we had Stower okay, and then Sam Allardyce got us playing decent football, but we still like finished really close to the bottom of the Premier League. So I think Charlie, do you know what? Honestly, we'll roll with it. I think we come from 2 different perspectives. Where I'm a lot less used to seeing great football. I'm just kind of used to seeing like average football. And to be honest with you, I don't see football as something that entertains me. It's like, if I want entertainment, I'll watch a film. I'll go do something. Like, football to me, I'm not bothered. Like, if it's a boring game, but we get the 3 points, I'm not bothered. Like, if we won 1-0 every game, but with one shot on target, I wouldn't be bothered. Like, as long as we're getting the points.
Okay, fair enough. So, Matthew, I know we've got to start the quiz quite straight away, but what do you think of that? Did you think that the games should be entertaining, or you're not bothered?
Well, the thing is, right, I've been looking at Sean and Dino's debates on SAFC Fan TV, and what they've said is, obviously, Sean he loves it when we just win the games. It doesn't really matter how we play. But Dino on the other hand is completely different. He says it matters how we play, because I think as well, we can play bad against a team and win. All right, brilliant. But in the next game, you might play a better team. You play the exact same, you won't win the game. You might lose. So it works both ways. Personally, I wouldn't mind us if we played bad every single game and won, but I do see the argument of, if we do play bad, then we might play bad the next game, and we could lose that. So it's a bit of a difficult one, really. Obviously, against Shrewsbury, I wasn't really happy with the performance, but we still did win the game. But that's all that matters. So to me, the result is all that matters the most. But of course, the performance is fairly important as well. And the same as Jack, I don't watch football for entertainment. I find it completely the opposite of entertaining. It it's the most stressful thing, you know.
Well, then clearly Paul is
In my
wrong-
life.
in the wrong.
It must be a generational thing, because back in the day, going to see the football match was meant to be entertaining. It was something that you really loved to do. You
No,
enjoyed doing.
I think the investment, if I feel in the result, is entertainment itself.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, then should we crack on with the quiz then, because we've got our Ipswich fan coming on at 1:30, I believe.
Just on a live chat, Chris Scott again. Oh, not that one. That we go. There we go. Say nice shirt, Jack. I do appreciate that, mate. It's a thing of beauty. You came this morning.
Big bottle of water as well. Thanks, Dan. It is. I've got two of them actually.
You are a bottle. One moment. I'm going to get my pen.
There's the Cruncher 76. Looking
Cool.
forward to joining you as well. So,
All right, Paul, the answer's right for question 1.
yeah.
So
You could have done this. You could have done this while he was out earlier on. Couldn't you?
Oh, dude. Right.
There we go. Right.
Okay, I'm gonna keep count of the scores as well. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
right.
not gonna
So
raise you like Paul.
Oh,
no. All right then. So question number 1. We all ready?
1 second. I'll get me thing up. Right, go for it.
Which 3 Ghanaian internationals played for Sunderland in the 2010-11 season? That is, which 3 Ghanaian internationals played for Sunderland in the 2010-11 season?
If one of us gets 2 and the other one gets 1 and none, can we get the point?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoever gets the most, yeah.
That's the other one.
Hello, Charlie. 4-3-3 tonight. Diamond out for Winchester. Right.
Got 2.
Oh, you've got 2, have you?
I know the other one. Is just I kind of think of him.
I don't even know if this one was German. He might not have been, but German, Ghanaian. But we'll see.
I'm going to take a punt at someone else who it might have been, but I think he was on loan the season before. There was someone from that country who was I thought was on loan the season before, but I don't know why I'm helping Paul out here, but
it's not helping me in the slightest bit because I don't know. Yeah, I've got 2 that I'm. Well, one of them for certain, but let's just go with it.
Okay, ready to show. Time is that?
Come on.
No, Jack gets the points.
Christ, what did you put?
It's Asamoah Jean, Solly Montari, and John Mensah.
Oh, I got all 3. See, I thought John Mensah was on loan the season before.
Yeah, he was, and then we signed him permanently, I think.
He would have been a great player if he wasn't.
Oh, so I got 2, and I don't get anything, right?
Half
a point.
All right. You can have 2. You can have 2. Oh wait, hang on a minute. No. Sorry, have half a point. I'll give Jack the full point. Have half a point.
Yeah, it's only fair. It's showing off some.
Is that sympathy?
It's only fair.
That's the most he's going to get.
Yeah. All right then.
Yeah.
All right. So question 2. In the 2013-14 season, Sunderland beat Manchester City at the Stadium of Light 1-0. Who was the goal scorer?
2013-14 season, yeah?
Yeah. It's the season we played them at Wembley in the League Cup final. We beat them at home 1-0.
I'm terrible at this sort of stuff, but just go for it.
Yep. 3, 2, 1, show.
Oh, sorry.
Both incorrect. It was Phil Bardsley.
Right.
I was thinking of the G moment.
No, that was the 11-12 season, and Defoe didn't even sign for us that season. It was the season after he signed for us.
Yeah, beat Man City that many times, man.
Yeah. All right then. So, question 3. Nice and easy one for all of you. Who is Sunderland's most expensive ever striker?
Nice and easy, is it?
Nothing's easy for you, Paul.
That's true, mate. That's true.
John said G. A few bits in Bardsley. Dan we said Johnson.
I'm trying to remember. It's between 2.
Saying Johnson. Johnson's had 2 loan spells.
All right, okay, just go with it. Go.
You ready, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go on, show. Paul gets it right. Asamoah Jean.
You're joking me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't think you got this one terrible.
I knew he was really expensive at the time. I just wondered if we'd get someone after that, but
no, that's correct. All right then. So question number 4. In the 2016-17 season, which 2 players wore the number 4 shirt?
2 players.
2 players wore the number 4 shirt. Yeah, the 16-17 season, 1 player wore the number 4 shirt. He left the club. Another player joined and he took his shirt number. So the 2 players were number 4. If you get one of them, I'll give you half a point because it's a bit of a bitchy question.
I know which season it was. I know who the manager was in that season. I can recall that.
It was Moyes. It was the season got relegated.
You didn't have to say that.
All right, sorry. It doesn't really have anything to do with the answer.
No, but
Can you give us what position they played in or anything?
With number 4, it's usually the centre back.
usually it could be defensive midfielder.
Yeah, could be central defensive midfielder.
Jan was number 3.
Right. I'm just going to take a guess.
Right. Give me a moment.
They're the only 2 I can really. I'm ready.
God.
Hang on, Jack, you ready?
I'm trying to think of someone who came in January. I can't think of a player who came in January that season. Right.
No, it wasn't right.
So I'm just gonna. I've got no idea. I'm just gonna go with one. I might get a point. Might get half
All
a point.
Go then. Full show as well. Oh, okay. You can both have half a point. It was Kabul and Jason Denayer.
Was he only here for half a season?
No, I think he joined in the summer just after Kabul left.
He was a quality player.
So
Yeah.
He's doing well in the Champions League. I knew when he was playing. I thought he's gonna do something in life.
all right. Right, this is question number 5. Yeah, number 5. So, in the 2017-18 season, Sunderland beat champions Wolves in the last game of the season 3-0. Who were the goal scorers?
Jesus.
So, as in the championship season.
Yeah. We scored 3 in the championship season. I can't remember scoring any.
Against the champions as well.
Yeah.
We were already relegated last game of the season.
Let's have a think.
I'll give you a clue for one of them, Paul. He is one of the worst strikers I've ever seen in my life at Sunderland. Couldn't hit a barn door.
A lot of people saying in previous questions, Thane, PVN, Oviedo. No, that was number 3.
Oh, wait.
I don't know if I'm spelling.
Have you been working on your maths in your grammar? 1931, man.
We're due to leave Roker Park in 2030.
I've got one, I think. Have you got all 3?
Chris Scott, I have to disagree with you on that one. I've got all 3, yeah.
Right, I'm going to just go with 2.
I disagree with you. He just could not finish anything.
I've got 2 that I'm going to go with.
Go on then, show your answers. I'll let Thane tell you the answers because it's right here on screen. Oh no, sorry, wrong one. It's Ashley Fletcher, Ovi Ajaria, Paddy McNair.
So I get the 3.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Jack gets the point.
Comes over the points as per.
Damn.
So, number 6. Which squad number did Lee Cattermole wear in his first season at the Stadium of Light? So which squad number did Lee Cattermole wear in his first season at the Stadium of Light?
Between 2 of them for me.
Fuck's sake. I'm just going to take a guess. I think. Go with that one.
Okay, you ready? No, both incorrect. It was number 39.
What was the other one? What was his other number?
So he wore, 39, and then he wore 6 for a few seasons. Paolo Di Canio gave him number 33 shirt, and then he went back to 6.
I knew.
Don't I remember that?
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
A lot of people saying 33. Nah.
How many
But,
questions have we got there, Matthew?
I've got 18.
Because he started and didn't finish.
No, it's because I was thinking of really good, hard questions. Okay, so question number 7. What year was the Stadium of Light extended from the capacity of 42,000 to 49,000?
Shit. It's going to be a total guess, but
Chris Scott got the last question. Chris Scott got the last question wrong, even though Catamol was on the back of his shirt. Brilliant.
Got my
right. Ready?
Okay, you ready to show it? Yep. 2008. 2008. No, it's incorrect. It was 2000.
What?
What?
It couldn't be.
Yeah.
It'd only been about a year old.
Yeah. No, it was. No, I mean, look it up.
Wow. I am surprised at that.
Look it up. All right. Question number 8. Which team did Sunderland defeat in the semi-final of the FA Cup in 1973?
Semi-final.
Yep.
Oh, this is when Paul was a young'un.
I was -4.
Well, yeah.
Shut up, man.
Keep telling yourself that one, mate.
Come on, Charlie. Shut up, man.
I'm just
going to take a guess at like a team. To be honest with you, it could be anybody.
As if you have got in mind.
All right, do you want a clue? We won the game 2-1.
That doesn't help.
The game was played at Hillsborough, but that's got nothing. It wasn't Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
Can you give us the first letter of the?
No, I can't. No, have you got the teams?
2
seconds. I've wrote one down. I think it is. Ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. No, both incorrect. The only person who's got it right on the chat is Jordan, and it's Arsenal.
Jordan has the internet though.
2-1.
I would love to get him on this quiz because I think he cheats me.
You can't say that about people.
Yeah, and Carl got it right as well.
Right.
Arsenal, well done. All right then. Next question.
He's a slippery one that adopted Mark and Miller being cheating.
It was 2-1. Yeah, thank you, Carl. All right, so one for today's opposition, Ipswich. So which player did Sunderland pay £8 million for in the summer of 2011? So Sunderland paid Ipswich Town £8 million in the summer of 2011. Jesus, I can't speak, man.
He had a similar hairdo to mine at one point. Only have 3 this time. I think you've got more than me, mate. I'm not doing very well here.
Me? I'm doing terrible.
No, I'm talking to Jordan on the live chat.
All right.
You're always doing terrible. It's no surprise to anyone.
Fuck's sake.
In fact, you're going bald. Oh.
Hey. 2011. Only one.
Oh, come on, Paul. This is easy.
Right. I think I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with that.
Okay, show.
Oh.
Connor Wickham. Yep, correct. Well done.
I didn't think he was anywhere near that much.
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it either.
He did okay in the championship, and we just splashed loads of money from him, I think. And...
Christ, he wasn't worth that much.
No. So question number 10. I'll quickly tell you what your scores are. Jack, you've got 3.5. Paul, you have 3.
It's not too bad.
I feel disappointed in myself.
So question number 10. Jordan Henderson scored his first Sunderland goal against which team?
He was in the cup. I know that.
Oh, wait, no, hang on a minute. Let me rephrase it. His first Premier League goal for Sunderland.
Right.
I can remember one that he scored. Might have been that.
Right, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yep, both correct. Manchester City. It was a 4-3 defeat. 4-3 defeat, and Michael Turner jumped up for a header and just went like that, right in the neck of a Man City player and got sent off before game. And Sunderland tried to appeal it, and then they ended up giving him an extra game ban, 4 games. How I remember that, I do not know.
You know that. I've got no idea.
I have no idea, but I just do. So,
Sunderland Encyclopedia.
in the 2010-11 season, Sunderland beat Chelsea 3-0 at Stamford Bridge. Who are the goal scorers?
Know it already.
Sorry, what year?
2010-11 season. We just got beat off the Mags 5-1 and we went there. I didn't even go to it. It's right near me. I didn't even go to it. I say right near me. It's not that near me. But to you, Jack, anywhere in London's near me, innit?
It's like if it's kind of south of Burton, it's all just kind of the same
south of Burton. Everywhere's London, yeah.
Everywhere's London, south of Burton, right?
I'm terrible with this. Yeah.
Well, it's a quiz question, so of course you are.
Dickhead.
Let's try not to bite.
Right.
He's going great. Oh.
I am actually really great when it comes through.
Dickhead. It's just the old age.
I can't even think.
Well, I can say Defoe on the left. Definitely wasn't him.
No.
I wish we had Defoe in that season. God.
I'm struggling to even think of who was scoring back then.
Oh, that's changed me onto last second.
What? Because you just looked at the live chat and saw who put their answers. You went, "Oh man,
no,
need to change it."
I've got no idea. I'm just going to take a guess, as usual. Come on. Right, you ready?
Yep. Zenden Campbell Catamo. No, it was Jack's got it right. It was Nady Manua, Asamoah Gyan, and Danny Welbeck. What did you change your answer from? Yeah.
Zenden, but the only reason I said Zenden is because Zenden did the dance with Gyan, and that stuck in my head from that game.
Yeah.
So Zenden was right.
No. It was wrong.
Gyan when Gyan scored, and that stuck in my head.
All
right. Carl says, I got a question for the boys, Matthew. Yeah, one sec. Carl, read out the next question, and then this question will come through. Some person on here just says,
you can get out.
Come on, you Leeds. Interesting. All right. So, question number 12. Which shirt number did Joel Lynch wear whilst he was at Sunderland?
Joel Lynch.
Paul doesn't even remember.
It was only last season.
I don't even remember what I had to eat for tea, man.
Probably caviar. Was it from Marks and Spencer's? Was it?
What's that? Me food.
Just your.
Actually, I tell you what I had. I had some hummus with pita bread. That's what I had.
Typical Southerner. Was it from Marks and Spencer's? Yeah.
No, it was from Tesco.
Have Tesco's down where you live?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you didn't like living in the northeast because it was too snobby.
No, it was just because I knew you were going to come along. So
right, okay. So at the age of 18, you decided to move away, despite the fact that I wasn't coming for another however many years.
I just heard you were coming, mate. I just had a feeling. So
I don't know if my parents had met at that point.
I'm just gonna have to take a guess because I don't know. Right, ready?
Yep, 3 answers. Number 359. Jack's got it correct. Number 3.
Right.
Yeah, and Dan's just reminded me of the game at Pompey where he clashed with he clashed with McLaughlin, I think, and we actually thought we thought he was dead. He was stretchered out, given oxygen. But that was his last game. I think he hasn't even got a club now. I take him back now. He's at St. Thane's, currently eating some guacamole and Doritos. It's very nice.
I can just
very nice.
Just to let you know, well, on the chat, because it's the first time I've seen it. This link, one who said, "Come on, Leeds." He's actually commenting from Twitter, I think, because it's got the periscope symbol.
Yeah, so.
First time we've seen it. So,
and he's also just reminded everyone to come on and subscribe. It's absolutely free and doesn't cost a penny. Thank you
so
very much.
Absolutely free.
He's obviously a fan of Sean Livingston.
Yeah.
Stop shouting Jesus and banging the table.
All right. So, all right then. Next question, number 13. This is one for you, Paul. In the Peter Reid song, Sunderland fans sing, "We once thought of you as a Scouser dressed in what?"
Oh, come on. That was Paul's outfit back in the day.
Yeah.
Look at him sneaking a little look at the live chat.
I don't do that.
A monkey suit, blue. This song's blue. It's blue. The answer's blue. Congratulations, well done, Jack.
I don't look sort of you as a Scouser dressed in a monkey suit, yeah, Paul?
We once thought of you as a Scouser dressed in a monkey suit. Can you imagine that in the games?
I could run through. I could easily cheat and look at the chat or look at Google it or something, but I don't.
Good times they are
here, and the Premiership is near. There we go. That's good.
That's better, isn't it?
3 o'clock now, as happy as can be.
Right then.
Right.
All right then. Next question. Number 14. Who wrote this?
You.
Who was Sunderland's goalkeeper in the 2-1 win against Newcastle in 2013? So the game Barini scored 2-1 win. Who was in goal for Sunderland that day?
2013. For Sunderland, yeah?
Yep.
It's one of two. I'm just going to take a guess. Right.
I enjoy that sing song.
We'll go with that one.
Both incorrect. It was Kieran Westwood.
Shit.
Pickford. Pickford was probably at that game in the stand.
No, I'm sure he was about then. 2013. It's only that was 7 years ago. We've been in League 1 3.
I think Pickford was on Bradford that season or something.
Bradford or
Preston.
Preston.
No, it was Preston. He was at Preston as well. Lauren Kenny, she's come on Twitter as well. Evening, everyone. Evening, Lauren.
Evening, Lauren. Hope your mum's doing all right, by the way.
It's 1-0 Leeds.
No idea what John
anyone cares. Right, so next question. Nice and easy one for you all. How old is Charlie White?
Nice and easy one, yeah.
How old is Charlie White? Yeah. If anyone knows how old Charlie White is, if anyone checks these things, do let us know.
It's like your
hello, Colin.
Reading, isn't it, Matthew? Like you're reading before you go to sleep, you read up on Charlie White's age and
No.
Right, we'll just take a guess. Go with that.
Okay. 28. Correct. Both correct. Well done. Okay. How many goals this is question number 16. How many goals did Luke O'Nien score in the 2018-19 season?
You probably count them, would be fair.
Yeah, probably could.
Keep showing us your fingers when you're doing that.
Well, at least, you know it's at least 3.
I'm just going to take a guess again.
Kieran says Jack Dodd's the man.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Show.
Give me a moment. Right. I'm gonna go with that.
Oh,
Yep. Number 5. Well done. Both correct. All right. 2 questions left. Number 17. How many league titles? No, we get up to number 12 for that song. How many league titles have Sunderland won?
Yeah.
So top flight titles.
Fairly straightforward on this one.
There's a lot of numbers flying in on the chat right now. Yeah. Number 6.
As the song goes, 6 league titles.
We're still going strong.
6 in a row.
Okay, right. The last question I've got down here. Which other British club has Alim Ozturk played for?
Easy.
I don't know that one.
And he scored an absolute screamer. I was playing for them as well.
How are the lads from London, from Lee Dell? Hello there. Where's that coming from? L. Don't know where that.
That's YouTube. Look, she's got the YouTube sign next to her.
Right. Sorry, hang on. Give us a second.
Scored from the halfway line, so we didn't have off the bar.
You know it for definite, do you, Charlie Methan?
Yeah, mate, I'll sign him, so I know.
Can you give us a clue what league he was in or something?
I'll give you a clue, right? Love. There you go.
Love, yeah.
Love. Right, okay.
Hearts, yeah. Congratulations. Well done. Right. So let me just count up the scores now. So Jack, you've got 11.5. Paul, you've got 8.
Oh.
So 8 out of 18 isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Is that your best score yet?
I think it might be. Did I get 8.5 in the last one? I can't remember now.
No, you asked. No, you were the one asking the questions in the last one, weren't you?
Oh, right. I think it might be me best one then, yeah.
Kicking in now.
I'm just copying the link of the StreamYard down so we can get Richard. That's the guy's name.
Richard,
yeah.
Yeah, Richard. He's the Cruncher 76 on.
Does nobody else get that reference? No?
Nah.
Richard, yeah, Richard.
Do
you get it or not? Or are you just going along with it?
I'm just going along with it.
Off the In-Betweeners film.
The what?
Off the In-Betweeners movie.
YG.
What's the scene?
There's the second one when they're on holiday. And,
yeah.
There's a guy who's out there on his own, and he comes up with the 4 of them. It's like their first night. They're going out and drinking cans on the way out, and he comes over and he says like, "I'm out here on my own, having a mental time," and I know I'm embarrassing myself live on internet.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
He just randomly goes, "Can I come on yours for a shower?" Dan got it, so Dan's welcome on the show.
Okay.
First one, Jack.
I can't think. If I saw it, then I'll probably remember it. Yeah. So yeah, Jordan, who's usually the best at this, Matthew definitely thrown the hard questions out. Only got 14 this time. Well, that's still decent. You still would have won on here.
Why, man? That's more of a Geordie thing, really.
I've joined a Sunderland stream and not one person has said, "Oh, aye, man."
Well, we do see a way, but I think
is that someone from down your neck of the woods, Matthew?
No. This is Leah Dell was from down my neck of the woods. I don't know where this person's from. Callie Bisler.
Where are you from, Callie?
Where are you from, Callie? Jason says, "Callie, are you mad? Ha ha ha. We won't." What does it say? Scared anymore. 3. Stephen Parry says, "Callie, we are wanting a loss, mate." Right, lovely. So if anyone's got any more questions that they want to ask while we wait for the Ipswich Town fan to join us, then please do ask them. But also, Jack, the lineups are going to come out in 20 minutes, I believe. Is all right if you can.
Yeah, that's sound. I'll get my phone. 2 seconds. If you've got any points of discussion, Matthew.
Hang on a minute. Carl wanted to ask a question. So here's the question he wanted to ask. In the Tyne-and-Wear derby in 2011, who scored the goal? Well, that's not a very nice question. We don't really want to think about that too much. But
for God's sake,
we don't really want to think about that.
I've been tested enough as it is anyway. But I think I know who it might be.
There was 2 derbies, wasn't there, in 2011? There was a 1-1 and then 1-0 to them.
Wasn't the one again? It's about one player that went to prison. Isn't that right? Am I thinking of something else?
Did Bar never score against us?
I don't know. What was that? Was it in Tyne-and-Wear derby, August 2011? Yeah, wasn't it Alan Johnson?
No, not in no. I remember they played at our place in the 10-11 season. We drew 1-1 with Jean equalising in the last minute.
Was it Stephen Taylor from a free kick?
Right, everyone behave yourself. We've got our guest joining us now.
Yes,
You don't have to be
we've got to be good now. We've got a guest on.
Hello, Richard. All right?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks very much for coming on.
You don't have to behave. You don't have to behave. Don't worry.
It's this one with a yellow t-shirt you want to worry about.
Is that
Yeah.
Charlie? Is that Peter Reid over there?
Hey!
He got a monkey's head.
I've had enough.
Cheer up, Peter Reid. Cheer up.
Peter Reid.
He's not actually called Charlie. He's called Idiot. No. So what's your name again? Jack, in it?
Something like that, aye.
Yeah, Jack. That's his name.
If you look at a photo of Charlie Methven, our owner, I've decided to do something a little bit different with my hair, and everyone's decided to have a poppers because I look a little bit like one of the people who own our club.
Is he still there or has he gone?
Well,
no, he's still there.
He's
still
still
got a
wearing
share.
his trousers.
Salmon pants.
yeah, that's the one. He's still a Klingon. I think he's going to remain some shares within the club, isn't he?
I think he's got a 6% share, something like that. Nothing
9, isn't it? I think
major.
9.
Nah, man, he's not rich enough to have a 9% stake. Anyway, Richard, how are you doing though? How are you confident for tonight?
Not at all.
I don't think any of us are really. Being Sunderland fans, you never really know what to come up and really expect. But I don't know how Ipswich are really doing it. Have they had I don't think they've had a decent run of games recently, have they? So how have they been getting on?
We've lost 5 in the last 6 at home. And I was reading that you're unbeaten all season, aren't you, away?
Yeah.
To home, we struggle though.
I think we've won 5. We've won 5 and drew 5 or something, in it.
Yeah, 1-5, drawn 5. I think have you only let 4 goals in, I think, away from home? And we don't score. So I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be a thriller, is it, for the Sky cameras?
Well, the thing is, if there's any club that you go to and get a result at when you're not normally getting a result, it's against Sunderland usually.
Well, the gift that keeps on giving. I had Mark Ramsey, he's the chairman of the Ipswich Town supporters group.
Yeah.
And I asked him a question. I said, "Are you struggling against the big teams?" Because I noticed that out of your last 10 games, you've lost 5 games. You've lost 5, 4 of which have been Peterborough, Hull, Charlton, and Portsmouth. And he said, "Well, to be honest, you're struggling with anyone." Something else he said that you were struggling with that link in the midfield to the attack, which is something I already think is true with us as well. Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've 27 games since last season and this season with the top 10. Out of 27 games, how many games do you think we've won out of 27 against the top 10? You'll be blown away. You won't believe it.
4.
Yeah, 4. We've won 4 games.
Get in.
4 games, and we've lost 7 out of 7 against top 7 this season. So we don't score enough goals. If you look on the stat, I think we're probably 4th or 5th lowest scorers in the league. Even Burton Albion has scored more goals than we have.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I think as well with Sunderland, I think we struggle against the smaller teams. I don't know how that works. We play all right against the bigger teams. So I don't know. But if you ever have like an unfortunate streak you need to lose, the perfect team to play is actually Sunderland. Usually teams when they have an unfortunate streak of, say, not being able to score a goal or not being able to win a game, they usually play Sunderland and that streak just goes and they're absolutely fine. But yeah, looking ahead for tonight though, really, and for the season against for the rest of the season, where do you think where you'll finish really at the end of the season?
Well, I don't know if you know, but the local paper at the weekend of on our podcast, Talking Town, I'll give them a shout out, the boys. We've been a bit outspoken that the local paper are a little bit too lenient, and then on, I think it was Sunday evening, they tweeted out what they were running, their story on Monday. And they've called for the manager to be sacked. The owner's come out again and he's backed Lambert. But if you go on social media, you won't find many people who wants Lambert as our manager. You won't. And he talks utter nonsense. After Saturday's game, it was a really poor game against Peterborough. They won actually without having a shot on target. So work that one out. But he came out and said we played really well. He was a great performance. And then the captain, Luke Chambers, came out and he absolutely contradicted him. And he said, that's not good enough. So you would have thought the captain and manager are normally tight, aren't they? And when you've got that, I think there's problems in the dressing room. But he's been backed again. So he was given a 5-year contract last season, which I think was a big mistake by the owner, because we were top of the league. And since November until like the season finished, I think we took 25 points from 25 games. And if you look at that, that's relegation form. And it's sort of mirroring what's happened last season, happened this season. We didn't have a too bad a start. You could say we had some easy games early. We played Bristol Rovers, Wigan, teams like that. And then when we've come up against the big boys, because you beat us 2-1 at your place, I thought we actually played quite well that night. It was we had a red card and then the penalty, which I don't think was a penalty, but it's always a hard luck story and it can't keep being like that.
Yeah, I think go back to what you were saying with the player and the manager sort of conflict thing. We had a manager, Phil Parkinson, for a long time, and I say a long time, about most of last season and a bit of this season. And I think a lot of our fans turned on him, where after games he was like, "Oh, I think we passed the ball well. We moved the ball well." Where we literally saw that he wasn't. And then one of our other players, Aidan McGeady, who literally came out recently after Parkinson just been sacked and just went this. We knew after like 10 days that he wasn't going to last. He was not the right man for the job. So I think I do see a lot of frustration there of Paul Lambert, and I always thought of Paul Lambert as being like a really good manager, and he obviously managing in the Premier League as well. But I remember when Ipswich came up to the stadium of like last season, there were a lot of I was there, and there was so much. Should I say? No one wanted, after that game, no one wanted Lambert in. They all wanted him out. So it looks to me really like nothing's really changing. And the board aren't changing their minds.
No, it's negativity, and look, a lot of it, I think all of you three would know. He managed our local rivals, Norwich. He's in their Hall of Fame. So when you have that happen, at the time, I thought that's a bit of a strange appointment, and because you know what football's like, a lot of people. Yeah, they will jump on him as the first thing that he's done wrong. He had a guy called Ian Culverhouse who was with him at Norwich, and he's assistant, and they work really well together. Since he's left Norwich, he's now managing Kings Lynn in the National League. He's doing really well there. But since then, if you look at Lambert's CV, Blackburn, Stoke, Wolves. I can't remember where else he was, but he's not really set the world alight, has he? Really?
No. Yeah,
it's a half decent kind of like bottom table Premier League manager, like an Allardyce or a Pulis type thing. But maybe I think League One can be deceiving. Where I think, it's the third tier, but actually it's a very different league to manage. And if you've only got Premier League experience, I don't think that necessarily means to be good in League One, because it's a different type of game you're looking at in terms of managing and different personalities to work with, I think.
Yeah, I'll get that totally. Anyone who thinks League One's an easy league, when we got relegated, a lot of our fans said, "Oh, we'll have a League One tour. You go to a lot of different away grounds, and then it's not that easy." You guys know that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, we came down. We thought it was going to be the exact same, and third season in League One doesn't even look as if we're going up this season. Matthew, I wanted to mention, I couldn't get in, but. With Parkinson, he just used to come up with any excuse possible. I mean, there was times he was blaming the pitch, blaming the officials, blaming the weather. It just seemed as if he would find absolutely any excuse in the world, the fixture congestion, whatever it was, just to take the blame away from the players, especially when we weren't good enough as well.
Yeah,
I think that was mentioned.
I thought he was a weird appointment, Parkinson. I
think he was just like the cheapest at the time, or the easiest to get at the time, rather.
Not great, but it's like Lambert's watching a different game than the fans. And look, you all watch games. We know, we've watched enough football to know when your team's playing well and when you're not. And when he comes out and says, "Oh, that was a really good performance," and you think, it wasn't. You try to pull the wool over our eyes. And will he stay? Will he go? I think a lot of it, there might be clauses in his contract, maybe if they don't make the playoffs. Personally, I'd pull the trigger now, because we're 2 more games and then we're halfway through. And there's enough time to obviously do something. There's managers out there. Paul Cook, he would be my number 1 pick. Then probably the Cowleys, but Kieran Dyer, he manages our under-23s at the minute, and that would probably be the cheap option for the club. And it'd probably get the supporters back on side if you got someone who used to play for you, you know. But it's an unforgiving league. We know what it's like. I'd say there's not a lot of quality in the league from what I've seen. But I don't know about you guys, what you think to the league. I think the standard's pretty low. But then tonight, this shouldn't be a game in League One between Ipswich and Sunderland. It should be a top-end Championship game, if not Premier League.
Yeah, definitely, Tim.
Yeah, totally good. Can I just ask you as well, Richard, with the adopted Mackham's asked the question, would you rather have Phil Parkinson as manager over Lambert?
I'd have neither of them. They're both dinosaurs. They're both... Football's moved on from people like that, I think, now. It's just... You said he was the cheap option for you. What went wrong with Jack Ross? Because I think we were linked with him when Mick went. You know, Mick McCarthy managed you as well. Got you out the Championship. He went, and then obviously Paul Hurst coming to us. But I think Ross. I think he was actually interviewed, and I liked him. I thought he'd done a good job in Scotland.
I think Jack Ross's job at Sunderland, he had the best squad. He had the best squad we've ever had since we came down to League One, without a shadow of a doubt. And in my opinion, we had the best squad in the league. He had an entire season, and as well with that, however many cup games, you know, we went to the final of the Checker Trophy to make them gel, and he didn't. You know, you look at the players we had in that squad. I mean, Aidan McGeady, he was a couple of years younger. We had Cattermole, we had Oviedo, even Adam Matthews, Madger for half a season. I don't think he found a system when Madger went to make us gel. As well, I think with Ross although we were, you look at the goals conceded, one of the better teams in the league defensively, he couldn't figure out how to keep a clean sheet. And the only reason we were so good defensively is because we only ever really conceded one goal a game.
Did you have 20 draws last season? About 20 draws, 1-1.
19, wasn't it?
Yeah, you had a lot.
19 draws. And we just couldn't figure out the system, how to keep clean sheets. And I think he actually had quite a decent selection of defenders there. So I do put quite a lot of blame on Jack Ross, and being completely honest, because I think he had the best squad in the league, but without a shadow of a doubt. And he had all that time, didn't get one system to gel, and didn't find a format at the back that could keep the goals from going in.
Yeah, that was exactly how it was. Richard, have you ever been up to the stadium? Like, I know I actually live in Essex, and I've got some.
Yeah, I've been up there a few times. You live in Braintree, don't you?
Yes, that's right, mate. Yeah, I've got a few Ipswich fans I work with. I met up with them.
I live in Essex as well.
Yeah,
Where in Essex?
Wouldn't dare.
I live in Waltham Abbey.
Is that posh? Is that posh down there?
Posh area, mate.
Not really.
Not
really.
People who call the children Tarquin.
I'm near Huntingdon in Cambridgeshire. So you're nearer to Ipswich than I am.
Yeah, I know. I see. I work at Stansted, and I've got a few friends that are Ipswich fans. I met up with them. The last game I ever went to was at Stadium Light when we won 1-0, which I think we were really lucky to get the 3 points, to be honest with you. But the atmosphere before and after the game in the pub, the Colliery Tavern outside the stadium, was one of the best ones I've ever been to. The fans, fans were brilliant.
To your ground a few times. I've even been to watch England a couple of times. I went to when Rooney made his full debut against Turkey in what an atmosphere that was that night. That was electric. It's a great ground, isn't it? I know a lot of these new stadiums, they're all the same, aren't they? But Sunderland, when was that built? Was it late 90s?
Yeah,
97, 98, I think.
Yeah, so it's a really good atmosphere. And I just find it sad, like, I know at the minute there's no fans there, but when you turn on the telly and you see a lot of them empty red seats and you think, I've been there when it was full. In the Premier League, I went a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah, well, at least on the plus side, at least the red seats instead of pink ones like we used to have. So that's the plus side. I think
me and Stuart sorted that one out.
I think there's a question there. Colin Roberts, what did you think of Ledbetter when he was at Ipswich? He's been our best midfielder this season.
He was a decent player. We signed him from you, didn't we? When I think Roy Keane got him, and he got Carlos Edwards.
Yeah,
he signed them. Ledbetter, steady player. Awful corner taker at Town. Always used to hit the first man. Could never get it over. I thought he was a decent player, but I always thought there could be a little bit more in there from him because he was captain of us. I think it was interesting when he left. I think towards the end of that season, he went on a run where he scored about 5 or 6 goals in about 7 or 8 games. And I don't know if he was looking for a move away, but I always thought he was a decent player. You know, he's 35 now. he's probably still good enough for this league, isn't he? Probably if you got promoted, he wouldn't be good enough for the Championship. You'd probably have to replace him, wouldn't you?
I think he's pulling the strings quite well at the moment, but he can't do much in terms of going forward. It's more just sitting back, winning the ball back the odd times, and kind of like changing the patterns of play, like bringing it from the left over to the right and things like that. It's about all he can do, really, I think.
You probably need that, though, don't you, in this league? Someone sitting in that middle.
Yeah, definitely. But I think if we went up a league, or rather, if we would just play with 2 centre midfielders as opposed to 3, I think he would get found out.
Because it's like our squad. We've got, I think, end of the season, we've got 17 players who are out of contract. So whatever happens, if we go up, which I don't think we will, and if we stay down, it's going to be a massive overhaul of change. And I think that this is probably why I see Lambert staying sort of towards the end of the season. Maybe when we fall out and we can't get in the playoffs, that might be the chance when the owner changes. Personally, I think it's time to change now. You've got half the season to go. We haven't got a bad squad. I just don't think they're playing for him. You know what football's like. When, like I say earlier, when the captain's come out and he's saying totally different than the manager, does that say to you that they're pulling in the same direction? Because it doesn't to me. That just it strikes with me that, yeah, we're doing our thing. We're not listening to you. Because we all know what football's about, don't we? If you don't want to play for a manager, they down tools, a new manager comes in, and then all of a sudden you're off and running. Yeah,
I think that's the problem with Sunderland. A lot of time we have that many managers. We've got like bits of each manager's team. Do you know what I mean? So getting his ideas and his ideas and his ideas to work as one with 3 different sets of players, it takes ages to get it to gel. Do you know what I mean? It's just a mess, to be honest. So
well, we've had Lambert he's over 2 years now, and he came in. He had 33 games in the Championship, and sometimes you get that bounce, don't you? And there was no real improvement there. He got the fans back on side, which was fair enough because it was dead. But it's results on the pitch, isn't it? What happens? He's bought a few pints for the fans. You know, he's trying to. They call him PR Paul. You know, because he's good at PR as a football manager.
Like Nathan.
Wasn't he sort of the protege of Martin O'Neill, Lambert? Wasn't he? Is that right? I think there's somebody else.
I don't know. No, he started at Wickham, Colchester, then he went to Norwich. Norwich is, if you look, like I said before, if you look at his CV, Norwich is where he took him from League One straight through the Championship. I always remember when he was manager of Norwich, they whacked us 4-1 at their place and then 5-1 at ours. So, and they played really good football. They were a really good side then, but I think a lot of it that was 10 years plus ago. Football's moved on, I think, and you'll see tonight the football we're trying to play sort of possession based. We play really slow from the back. I think a lot of it doesn't help, and I'm not just saying Ipswich. I think if you watch football nowadays with no fans, there's no pressure on them, so they're all quite slow. These games, I think, when you know what it's like if you've got 30,000 supporters shouting at you. Hang on, let the
and the dog shouting at you as well.
They don't like Lambert neither. They're not big fans.
Oh, cool. So where do you think it's gone wrong then? What's causing the issues this season?
So last season, he rotated the team a lot. There was a lot of rotation. Sometimes you turn up to the game and he's made 4 or 5 changes. Lambert bingo. And then from November to March, it sort of it all fell apart. And then now this season, he come out at the start of the season saying, if you've got the shirt, you keep the shirt. But he's very set on the way he wants to play. Last season, we played James Norwood, Caden Jackson up front, and they both got 11 goals. I think Jackson got 7 assists. He's come out this season. He wants to play with 1 striker. He said, we're rubbish. We can't play 2 up front. And all of our fan base are losing their marbles, saying, you've got to have another striker. You'll see tonight. I think Ollie Hawkins, we signed for Portsmouth, he's injured. Norwood's struggling for fitness. He's hardly played. I think he's played 4 games all season. Caden Jackson can't stay fit. We've got a lad called Aaron Drinan up front. You'll see him tonight. He's like a fish out of water and he's miles off the pace. I know it doesn't help with the system we play because he gets so isolated. Because they say we play a 4-3-3 and it's more of a 4-5-1. So that's where it's gone wrong for me. And he seems really set on that formation. and whatever anyone says to him, he won't change. He's stuck in his ways, and he's going to play that system, come what may.
I've got your starting 11 as well there, Richard, as well. So if I'll read it out Ipswich starting 11 because Sunderland's is at the bottom there as well. So in goal you got Thomas Holly, Luke Chambers, Jack, Luke. Well, how do you say that? Wolfden, Mark McGuinness, Stephen Ward, Andre Bazell, Flynn Downs, John Nolan, Luke Thomas, Caden Jackson, and Gwion Edwards. Gwion Edwards, yeah.
Is there any surprises there, do you think? Or
who have we got on the bench? Is Norwood on the bench?
Norwood isn't on the bench. Cornell, Baggett, Kenlock, Bishop, Judge, Sears, and Dirinan.
Aaron Drinnan.
These names.
So he's took him out and he's playing Jackson up front. So he's Luke Thomas. He's making his debut tonight. We've signed him on loan from Barnsley. I think you were linked with him. I see. There's quite a lot of players we were linked with and you were linked with in the summer. Danny Graham.
Thomas is right.
Danny Graham. I think you signed him, didn't you?
Oh, unfortunately, we did.
Unfortunately, yeah.
What's happened to him? Where is he? Is he not even on the bench for you?
He wasn't good when he was young, so now he's just as well. He's terrible.
You had him before, didn't you? You had him before.
He scored 1 goal for us in, was it 3 seasons or something?
Yeah. And
he was all right at Blackburn.
Yeah, I know.
It's the curse when you put on a Sunderland shirt. That's what happens.
I swear to God, when we signed him, I was like, I don't think he's the right sign. He's too slow. He's not what we need. And I got slated from some Blackburn fans, like proper slated, saying he'll do the job, he'll score loads of goals for us. But literally, he's been exactly the same as he was the first time around. And for me, he'd be gone in a heartbeat if it was down to me.
Yeah, but I think we're going to have to get something to take him off our hands, which ain't going to happen.
But then you don't rate Charlie White, do you? A lot of your fans.
We didn't. But he started scoring. So.
Like this season, he's the third top goal scorer in the league. He's got 11 goals now. 11 or 12 goals now, I think. And he seems to me, I think he's got 14 goals now in 22 games. I think is the official statistic. I think White will score if you're getting chances, but they've got to be the right type of chances. They've got to be within about 10 yards of the goal without much work to do. Just a header, a flick.
Good header Saturday. That's good header Saturday against.
That's what I'm saying. But if you give him the ball and he's got to turn or he's got to beat someone first, he's probably not going to do it. But I think if you get chances to White in that area, in and around the kind of, probably within about 10 yards of the goal, I do think he'll finish 9 times out of 10. You just need to get the chances to him, and he can't do much else, which is the unfortunate thing.
So Stephen Parry there in the comments. He's an Ipswich fan. Wolfenden and McGuinness, they're a young partnership. McGuinness is on loan from Arsenal. Wolfenden's come through our academy. I don't think personally they play well together as a pair because they're both young, and I think you need a experienced defender alongside them. But what formation do you play?
We're playing 4-3-3.
4-2-2-2-2-2, isn't it? Or something like that.
We were playing 4-2-2, but we look like we've changed it to 4-3-3 now with Winchester, Ledbetter, and Scowen as a midfield 3. I mean, that doesn't give me much hope. I can't see any creativity coming from the midfield tonight.
He's picking Scowen like for every game, and he's not
absolutely useless. He's absolutely awful.
What's the young lad who's been playing for you on the right hand side?
Diamond.
Jack Diamond.
Is he playing tonight?
He might be on the bench.
He's on the bench. He's on the bench.
Yeah, he's good. He's quite dynamic. He's quite raw. He runs the plays. He doesn't have any fear. But the problem with him is that his deliveries, to me, the very inconsistent. He won't beat the first man. I think when he has to come centrally, which he does have to naturally if you're playing 4-3-3 to support the striker, or if you're playing 4-2-2 because that's just the nature of playing that position. He doesn't seem to do very well centrally. Maybe his touch is a little bit wayward, but he's excited us. But he's nowhere near the finished article, I don't think.
So is it a 4-3-3 or does it turn into a 4-5-1 sometimes?
4-3-3, I think.
4-3-3, yeah.
Yeah,
we're more isolated. You'll see it tonight. Caden Jackson, he's picked him up top. He's quite quick, but our supporters probably think he can't play that central role on his own. I think that's a real hard role to fill. You're playing up there on your own. I think you've got to be big, you've got to be strong, you've got to be able to hold the ball. Whereas Jackson, he's good, he's very quick in behind you, and I think he's the one who sort of needs a partner because he runs the channels really well. He got 11 goals last season. He's been linked with Bournemouth, but he's another player who hasn't. He's been in and out the side. He's had injuries, so Then again, it's all the same, isn't it? All teams have had injuries, but that's another thing Lambert blames. We've had a lot of injuries, and we do pick up a lot of injuries in training. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, can I just ask Matthew, was Gooch on the bench, did you say?
Yeah, Gooch is on the bench, yeah.
Would you, just a quick question, would you, either of you guys, start him ahead of Scowen, sort of in that central midfield position?
I'd rather have O'Nien than I'd rather have O'Nien there instead of actually I don't know. I think I'd rather have O'Nien instead of Ledbetter, because I want it to be moving quite quickly. And I know you've all criticised Scowen and that, but I didn't even think at Shrewsbury he was that bad. I thought he passed the ball really well in the first.
It was one of his best games, but by God, that was saying something.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Ledbetter, I think he might just sort of be there to slow the game down and control it a little bit more.
Well, I think he does control the game. He does slow it down, but he plays it in his pace, and I think he's just that player who can sit deep and win the ball back at the occasional time and switch the play when need be. And I think we haven't really got anyone, bar potentially Winchester, who I haven't really seen, who can actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of Lee Johnson then? You happy with him?
So far,
the thing is, what I'd say is, sorry, Paul, with Lee Johnson, right? All the fans calling for Parkinson to leave, and he did.
I was right.
Yeah, he did. And then we got another manager in, and I mean, I prefer Lee Johnson over Parkinson as a person and as a manager straight away. But I don't think we've been performing much better. Now that isn't. Now the thing is, what's been going on is we were blaming the manager earlier in the season. The performance haven't really been changing. If anything, we've gone backwards where we're not keeping clean sheets. We were keeping clean sheets before, and now we're sort of then blaming the players now and then blaming something else. So I wouldn't really know what's going on. Also Lee Johnson as well. He obviously we've got these players like Will Grigg and Danny Graham who are taking up a big chunk of the wage cap, I think. And the quicker those players go, and then he wants to get his own players in, because he's dealing with the only player that he's actually signed is Carl Winchester. Yeah, the rest of them aren't even his players. So he's just recently got Dobson off to AFC Wimbledon, so I think he's already identified what he's going to do with some of the players. But I haven't seen us really improve yet. That's what I'd say. I haven't seen any improvement, but maybe we might see that in the next few games.
Why has Will Grigg been such a failure? Because I thought when you signed him, I thought that's a decent signing for this level.
Attitude,
and. Well, I went on a big rant about this. I think at the end of our last live stream on, when was it? Saturday. And I went on a good rant, don't you, Matthew? I do like a good rant. I do it at the end, so I got to hold back today. But I went on about Will Grigg, and I think he was signed with a price tag of 3 million rising to 4 million. He still lives in Lancashire, I believe, and he's travelling to the northeast for training sessions to games. He's getting in his car driving 2.5 hours and back again. He never wanted to come in the first place. The only reason why he's here is because Wigan said to him, "Look, Sunderland have offered us all this money. He's like, you have to go. Like, you can't stay here."
I remember watching the documentary when they were chasing him on deadline day, and you think, how much did you offer for him in the start? Was it 1.5 million?
And Jack Ross said, "Don't spend any more than 2 million. He's not worth 2 million." And then Stuart Donald decided to do the only logical thing and pay 4 million for him.
And also as well, his attitude has been awful. I mean, you could say people kept making the excuse of that. Oh, he hasn't got the service. His home debut against Blackpool, there was this ball played forward to him from our defender Jack Baldwin, and he rounded the goalkeeper. And he had the open goal to beat, and he just hit the ball into the side netting and completely missed the goal. He's missed open goals. He's missed one-on-ones. So for me, I mean, even me, I would have scored the goals that he's missed, the chances that he's missed. A professional footballer, and this is what I also said. You do it once, that's a mistake. You do it twice, that's quite unlucky. You do it 7, 8, 9 times, absolute disgrace. His attitude's awful, and I see his Sunderland career over as far as I'm concerned.
I suppose it's getting rid of him now, though. On the money, he's probably on decent wages at yours, isn't he? And
apparently MK, I think it's MK Dons, Salford, and potentially Shrewsbury. I know it's three clubs in between League 1 and League 2. I know the first two, Shrewsbury might be wrong, are after him before deadline day. To me, I would say even if it's a loan, whatever, just get rid of him. Cut our losses. He's his time at Sunderland's over for me. He's at, yeah, he's Chris Scott's put quite well on the live chat. You know, you can see he hasn't had the service and that. Well, he has had the service. You know, he's had chances given to him. He's had open goals. He's missed. He's had one-on-ones. He's missed. He's had times where you think if you just put a bit more in, you could have got there. But to me, it's his attitude. You know, you can see when he's walking through the tunnel. Like he just not getting rested. He looks defeated already.
Even when he scores a goal. When he scores a goal, he just looks upset.
A mental attitude, a can-do attitude, and never say die. He just kind of seems to mope around all the time, and to me, when things aren't going Wyke's way, you know, he starts working harder, and that's the thing with a few strikers. So at least Danny Graham puts 100% in. Will Grigg just doesn't even look interested. So to me, I would rather have Mitch Curry or Danny Graham up front, to be honest, than Will Grigg, because at least they're going to put 100% in. Yeah,
can I just give a shout out to Lee Dell's dad? Hope you're having a good one. Enjoy the game tonight. So who do we need to watch out for today, Richard? Who should we be scared of?
Scared of in our team? I'd probably say Gwion Edwards. He's our top scorer with 5. You know, 5 goals.
Yeah.
He's come back from injury. Plays on the left, right-footed. He is quite quick. We got 2 quick wide players. You know, we got him, Luke Thomas, who I spoke about earlier, signed on loan from Barnsley. I think Barnsley's manager give him a bit of stick, saying he's a bit unprofessional, but he wanted to go and play out on loan. He's been in and around the Barnsley squad, so I'm interested to see how he gets on, because he didn't play Saturday. He came on, I think, with 15 minutes to go, and he looked quite lively. But other than that, I can't really think there's anyone to look out for. We got Flynn Downs. He'd been injured. He's been linked with Crystal Palace. He asked for a transfer early in the season. But other than that, there's nothing really to frighten you, I don't think, in our lineup. We don't score goals. We don't create. I think it was 75 minutes before we had a shot on target on Saturday. So that sort of says it all. And you guys don't concede many goals away from home. So I can't really be positive tonight. I don't really think we're going to get a lot from the game, personally.
I don't know about you guys, but I know when I listen to the Ipswich fans talking, they say so many things that we've experienced ourselves at Sunderland. Don't like everything they say sort of rings true with what we've actually gone through over the last few seasons. And I know Matthew said we haven't improved at all since Parkinson left. I think we have improved a little bit. The way we play is a little bit more attack minded. I think we seem to have a few more chances, but I can understand it's not like a massive improvement. Normally, you get a new manager in, you get that new manager effect, and I think we might have had that. Like we beat Lincoln 4-0, but then we had COVID kick in, sort of disrupted the whole sort of honeymoon period, if you know what I mean.
Well, if you look at that division, how many games have you played?
Well, 20? I think we've got 1 game in hand on yourselves, and you're a point behind us. Is that right? Something like that. Oh, you've got a game. I'm trying to remember who's got a game in hand.
Yeah, we had COVID. From the 19th of December, and then we didn't play for 25 days, and we come back. We played Swindon. So
you've got game in hand on us, and you're 1 point behind. So if we win today, it'll sort of cancel that game in hand out. So that's what we really need to get to do.
But it's hard, isn't it? If you look at the league at the minute, there's so many teams played different number of games, and it's hard to really work out where you are, because we're 9th, and I think we're only about three or 4 points off, probably about 4th in the league. But you say it's best to have points on board. I think like Charlton. I think Charlton have played 24 games, and we've only played 20, and we're about 2 behind them. But there's no confidence that we're going to go on a run and win 3 or 4 games on the trot, because we just don't do that.
No, well, that's it. As a football fan, you look at the table, you analyse it. I've done it. So I think we're 6 points, correct us if I'm wrong, but I think we're 6 points off second place automatic with a game in hand. So you think if we win that's 3 points behind. But the teams don't give you that confidence to make you think, right, yeah, we are actually going to achieve that. I mean, I don't know.
Hull playing now. There's a game now. Oh, yeah. Akron and Stanley are beating Hull 2-0. There you go.
Excellent. That's a good result. Definitely.
Accrington are doing well, though, aren't they? I mean, they're level on points with us now.
They had lost a couple, but they've got about 3 or 4 games in hand on us, I think, because they went a long way.
Well, they've only played 20 games. We played 22 games, and they're level on points with us. So, yeah, if they win those 2 games, there's another team as well. We didn't expect Accrington Stanley to be up there.
Yeah, so we've gone down. I've got the live table here. We're 10th now on 21 games, and you've got 22 games, 36. But it's really tight, isn't it, really?
Yeah. It's a weird season.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not overly confident. I mean, if we get into the playoffs, I'll be happy. But what we're like when we get to the playoff final, lads. You know, we never.
Well, you know, we got that goal, and we knew Charlton would have been rocked at that point. But instead of putting a bit extra pressure on and squeezing a second goal and then killing the game off, we decided to defend a 1-0 lead for 88 minutes. You know, well, of course, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think you'll finish in the playoffs, Richard?
At the minute, we're not playing well enough. I know we've got games in hand, and it's all about scoring goals. We don't score. I think we've scored 27 goals, 26, 27 goals all season. If you look Saturday when we played Peterborough, Smodics, Dembele, Clark Harris have got 30 goals between them. So we haven't got a goal scorer. I did say on our podcast at the start of the season, this will be where we fall down because it's goals. We all know football's about scoring goals. You might concede as long as you score more than the opposition, and we don't score enough goals. And he really needs to go out and, I think, get a striker in the window because he's got strikers injured. He signed Josh Harrop. We signed him from Preston, signed last week. And then on Friday, when he was doing his press interview, he found out he's got COVID. And that was like peak Ipswich, you know. If anything could sum up a club as much as that, it was that. And now he's, I think, 3 games he's missing. But he's another player, Harrop. He was good at Preston. He hasn't played any football, so he's missing training now for 10 days when he comes back. And you think, we got people who could play number 10, Alan Judge, who really should be one of the standout players in this division, but he isn't. We got a young lad called Teddy Bishop, where we say he's young. He's played 60 games in 6 seasons. He's really talented, but he's made of glass. So you have people who could fulfill that number 10 role when you really should have gone out and think, right, we need another striker. And Lambert's he's blamed it on the salary cap. You know, but you've got to get creative, I think, in the salary cap because there's people in our squad who are not going to play. So if you have to get rid of a couple out of them to get one in, I think that's what you've got to do.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
We had Darren McAntony on our pod last Thursday night, the Peterborough, and he said Ipswich, 2.5 million with your salary cap is more than enough with the youngsters we've got and the squad we've got to win this division. And I think that's true. I don't know what you think about the salary cap, but obviously it brings everyone closer together, doesn't it? Now,
which negatively affects us, yeah.
It does.
But a lot of it, I think, comes down to your coaching, your recruitment. You know, I think it's too easy to say we're both big clubs in this division. It's too easy to say we've only got that amount to spend. I think you've got to be better than that.
Yeah, I still find the whole thing totally unfair, though. I mean, how we can have the same budget as Accrington and Stanley or whatever. It's if they did that in others. Can you imagine if they did that in the Premier League? There would be hell on.
Well, they'd never do it in the Premier League. They'd never do it, would they?
No,
they'd never get voted through. Because you think, what are you getting? 30-odd thousand a week. Accrington are getting what? 2.5, 3,000.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy, really, isn't it?
There was talk of the PFA looking into it, like as O'Connell says, he thinks it's illegal, because it's restricting players' earnings, isn't it? So it can't be. For me, it just doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Did they bring it in because of COVID? You know, because at the minute there's no fans. Is it they don't want teams overspending, doing a Bury, a Bolton? I don't really know, but it's interesting that you've got it in League 1 and 2. They haven't got it in the Championship. Not in the Championship, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. No. Well, I don't know. I do think it's unfair, but like you say, you can't make excuses. You do have to adapt. Get rid of some of the dead wood, some of the high earners if you've got to, and try and because the longer you're in this league, the harder it's going to be to get out of it. So
is this your third season?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, it's just you look at the amount of ex-Premier League teams in here now. I think there's 8. I counted the other day, and you think we're probably looking. A lot of our supporters are worried at the minute, thinking we could slide out the other way if we don't improve. I don't know about that. I never thought. I'm not being a snob. I never thought I'd see Ipswich playing in League 1. I thought we'll probably always be steady Championship team. We might have the odd push for the playoffs, like when McCarthy was our manager, and he done really well for one season, but the owner didn't back him in January. Our owner's been there 13 years, and it's been pretty much 13 years of decline. Because I think as much as I can moan about Paul Lambert, and I don't think he's the right man for the job, Marcus Evans, our owner, is the problem. He is the problem overall, but he owns the club. We're 90 odd million in debt. Who's going to come in and buy an ailing football club in League One, really?
Yeah.
In the middle of a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask you what you thought the reason was you ended up down there, and it's the same reason for us. In my opinion, the owners just didn't care. When we were in the Championship, they didn't spend a penny, and then we got Del Boy and Rodney coming in by the club. So,
well, Mick, you had Mick at Sunderland. Mick done a really good job at AS, but you know what you got with Mick McCarthy. You know he's an honest man. In the end, he was a firefighter. So I think in the end, the relationship between himself and the supporters broke down. Now, I think he was just frustrated that where we were, he wasn't really getting enough money to spend. I don't know if you remember when we played Norwich away and we scored in the last minute to go 1-0 up and still didn't win the game. And Mick's turned around and he's told the supporters to F off. He said he didn't. He said it wasn't aimed at us, but there was a little 2000 in the corner and that was the place where he was looking. But he got frustrated and I don't blame him, because if you're doing a job and the owner isn't getting the flack and you're getting all the stick from the supporters, he's going to get your back up. But Mick went, and I think it was the right time for him to go. He'd done a good job. Then we got Paul Hurst in, and he'd done a total overhaul of the team, and he got rid of McGoldrick went, Waghorn went, Joe Garner went. We had a good lone player called Bursant Salina. They all went, and he replaced them with League One and League Two players. So I think he wanted to do the right thing, but you know what the Championship's like. It's an unforgiving league, and when you're signing that amount of players from a lower division, it's a massive risk. But they give him 14 games and then they sacked him. Whereas I'll sit here today and still say, and I'll say on our podcast, and they say, no, that's nonsense. If we had Paul Hurst in charge now, we'd be no worse off than when Lambert's been there, because he's not really improved things on the pitch. There's no sort of, you look at him and think, yeah, he's done that right. No, not for me.
Yeah, totally understand that. I think today as well, it's just a massive game for both teams. It's a bit of a 6-pointer, I think. Can I just ask Matthew and Sam and Pants what they actually think of the lineup today? Was it what you expected? And are you surprised to see?
I'm a bit disappointed. I'm a bit disappointed with the formation before we start.
Yeah, so when you start, I mean, because I always thought Winchester was a little bit of a sort of similar player to Ledbetter, but younger. I mean, what do you think of the lineup? Do you think it's what were you expecting? What wasn't happened?
Well, I was expecting us to stick with 4-2-2 because it seems to be working. Really, we seem to be creating more chances under that, and defensively we're seeing okay. I think with 4-3-3, you need either of the three centre midfielders to really get close to the striker and link up. Otherwise, they get isolated because the two wide ones of the front three need to stay out wide to keep the width and make sure you have something. Make sure you have some width. So I think if you're going to do that, you need to play someone who's quite attacker minded in centre midfield. And you look at that. I mean, Grant Ledbetter, we know he's not going to go much further than about the centre circle. You got Carl Winchester in there, who doesn't seem as if he's going to be bursting forward, and you got Josh Scowen in there, who's like he just seems lost whenever he gets into the final third. His deliveries are wayward. The ball just seems to fly off his foot when he's just trying to control it. So if you're playing 4-3-3, for me, I would like to see 09 in there. Failing that, just go 4-2-2, and then utilise some midfielders in that who can kind of go forward and contribute to the attack. So I'm quite disappointed, to be honest, that we went with 4-3-3 with three very defensive-minded centre midfielders. And it just makes it harder for the three lads up top, O'Brien, Wyke and McGeady, who, although O'Brien has been scoring quite a lot, O'Brien's been scored a few goals, he's been playing quite well, and Wyke's been scoring plenty of goals. McGeady hasn't looked the same player since he came back in, so I think we're going to need a bit of an extra dynamic in there, and that's why I would have loved to see 09 just pushing through the midfield, getting it up there centrally. But to me, I can't see us scoring in that formation. I can't see where the support for the front three, which they're going to need, is coming from.
Yeah. Matthew? Yeah,
well, like I said before, like in the previous live stream, I said, what can you actually change in this team apart from a midfielder? I don't think we have any better defenders than Willis or Wright, so they're going to stay in. And then with the right back, Max Power, I mean, who else at the moment is fit that you're going to have there apart from Sanderson, but I don't really
What a
rate
great
Sanderson.
name. What a great name, Max Power.
Max Power. I wish he was such a great player, but
you don't live up to his name then.
No. You know, he doesn't. He's been
doing a fair job at right back, though.
Yeah, he's been quite solid there. But yeah, like I said before, what position can you actually change apart from the central midfield? Where do I see our goals coming from? Well, I see maybe a header or a tap in from Charlie Wyke, but anything else I don't really see. Obviously Lee Burge goal. I think Rich, you'll find Lee Burge will pass to more Ipswich players than Sunderland players because he loves to pass the ball to the other team.
See, I can't stand that when they do that knocking around at the back with a goal.
Yeah, I know. Even in the last game, at the Shrewsbury game, the ball just came back to him, and he just rushed it.
On the EFL highlights, didn't he? Passed it straight out to one of their players. Right?
I know, and I couldn't believe that. But yeah, he, like I'd say, really a League One keeper. League One players are always doing stuff like that, really. But yeah, I mean, apart from Scowen, I mean, I knew he was going to start anyway. Scowen, I think, is a player Lee Johnson really likes. Obviously, was with him at Barnsley and now here. Ledbetter, yeah, I do agree with you, Jack. I don't really see him going past the halfway line, to be honest with you. He's just going to sit in front of the back four and protect them. And yeah, I mean, McFadzean as well. Look, I think people saying, "Oh, these players having such bad games." You know, McFadzean's been awful these past few games.
Yes.
But who would you change him with?
Dion
you know,
Sanderson's just not in there.
Yeah, but Dion Sanderson isn't a left back.
Yeah,
but that's the thing.
Colin McFadzean, though. At the very least, you're going to have someone there to stop the crosses coming in, which McFadzean can't do.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. I don't think McFadzean can actually stop a cross, to be honest with you. I think he's been caught out of position so many times. But I think he is a bit of a better attacking option than Sanderson. But in terms of defending, I think Sanderson's miles better. But if I was going to choose a team, I probably would rather have a left back playing left back than a centre back / right back playing left back.
You can say that, but you can convert someone to play better. Look at when Luke O'Nien went right back for us. A lot of the fan base are in agreement. He wasn't an original right back, but he's better than Donald Love. Do you know what I mean? Donald Love is a proper right back. Colin McFadzean's a proper left back. I also say Dion Sanderson can't actually do a better job.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he wouldn't, but just from what I've seen so far, I don't think this is a game against Ipswich to be trialing how players do. This is a game we've got to go out and win.
It's not a trial. He's played there already against Northampton. Although he gave the ball away going forward, he was very good defensively, and that's what we need.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I actually say defensively, but you know, I think with what Lee Johnson wants to play, it's a bit more of a high press. So hopefully the McFadzean.
But you know, if you're a fullback, your responsibility's got to be to stop the cross coming in.
But yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Our fullbacks have got combined age of 70, so you want to get at them. You got Stephen Ward and Luke Chambers, and they're. Hey,
Paul must be the only fullback then.
No, he's on the bench.
Rich, is Judge on the bench? Somebody's asking.
He's on the bench.
Excellent. Another question here. I think, will Ipswich sit deep or come out and have a go at us? We tend to play better in open games with space in behind and struggle to break defensive teams down.
I think we had the last 18 games, we haven't been winning at half time. So that sort of says we'll come out. We'll probably have a lot of the ball, but we won't really do a lot with it. We'll pass it amongst ourselves at the back, then into midfield, and then go backwards. We never really threaten. That's what Lambert wants to play. I'd like us to come out tonight and start fast and really go at you, but I don't think we will. We play too slow. We play our best football when we play quick and we play with pace, but that doesn't seem the way that the manager wants to play. He wants to play a possession-based game, and I don't really think it suits the players that he's got.
Yeah, fair enough. Matthew, last week you sort of got quite irate about the short corners and short.
Gets irate about anything like that.
I do, yeah.
To be fair, it was really irritating as well. We couldn't beat the first man, or it just wasn't working. Do you think that's going to be the same story again tonight, or do you think they might have sort of seen through that now?
Well, I think when Ledbetter was on the free kicks and corners, and again, even Danny Collins said, where all of our central defenders, everyone's going up for this corner, right? They're all going up in the box. They're all there, leaving. I think McFadzean, the only player standing on the halfway line, and then we take a short free kick or take a short corner. completely waste the opportunity, give the ball away, and the other team's attacking, and all of our defenders have to sprint back. And we kept doing it. And I'm like, why are you all putting yourselves under so much pressure doing that? Why don't you just knock the ball into the box? It's the best chance we've got all game. They're League One defenders. You know, that we're not playing against like like Virgil van Dijk or Matip or Virgil van Dijk. No, we're not playing against like a Man City defense or a Liverpool defense. Like they're League One defenders. Just put the ball in. You know, when I get Hull City, when Jack, your favourite player in the whole wide world, put the ball in for Hull City, and then it literally hit Lee Burge's chest and then bounced down and Hull City scored. Why don't we do that the other end for us? Why don't we just whip a ball in there and see what happens? Test the defence, test the goalkeeper. If we're going to chuck all off.
I agree with you there because, like you said, this is League One. This is League One. And you, like us, how we play slow possession football, sometimes you've got to get it forward quick. Like corners, get corners in the box. That's where you score goals. And if you put your centre halves up, they're trotting all the way up there and then you take it short and then they don't get it. I'd have the right ump with that.
Well, yeah, and also the funny thing is as well, against Wimbledon, we're taking short free kicks and corners all game. I'm getting so frustrated. We get a corner and I go, we're going to take this one short. The only time they whip a ball in, Charlie White comes around and just volleys it in the back of the net. And I'm like, why weren't you doing that all game? Is it like, that's the first time you put the ball in the box from a corner and he's come around and just volleyed it in. And I'm like, why weren't you doing that all game? You know, so it really does confuse me. But
yeah.
But yeah, so just hopefully we're taking some better corners. And I mean, Ledbetter, when he's been taking corners for us, they've been all right, to be fair to him. I think when he came back into the club, when the first season in League One, God, the fact I have to say that the first season in League One, the second season in League One, the third season in League One, when he first came back in, I think if people remember, we were awful at corners. I remember McGeady was we literally couldn't take any corners, and even the manager was aware of that. Every time we got a corner, it was just guaranteed to give the ball away or knock it out of play. Ledbetter came in, we scored about 5 or 6 corners.
Yeah, I remember that period of time.
Every corner that whipped into the box from Ledbetter, it was almost a goal every single time. And so I wonder why they're not putting the ball in the box a little bit more, you know. So hopefully once he gets the ball in the box today, that'll probably be our best opportunity to score.
Yeah, definitely. Can I just do a quick shout out? My brother's just said, can I give a shout out to me niece, Sophia, my little gorgeous niece. Hello, Sophia. Hope you're having a good.
Hello, Sophia.
I was just going to talk about that. We mentioned the short corners coming in. Another thing that actually really irritates me is not taking enough chances outside the box. Just have a crack. The times like people like Max Power and Grant Ledbetter can have a crack and actually scored pretty decent goals, but yet you never ever seem to do them. Even McGeady seems to have sort of stopped and they're trying to get more balls to feet. Do you see the same thing happening, Jack? Can you hear us?
Jack.
He's frozen. Is he back?
Paul, were you saying something there? I got kicked out for a second and then the internet went off or something. I don't know.
No, that's fine. Do you think Sunderland need to be taking more chances outside the box and having a crack more often? Because we used to do it, but it seems to have died off, in my opinion. You answer it, Matthew.
It's SR4's internet is stopping him from doing that. Yeah. So the shots outside the box. I mean, I remember McGeady. He used to love doing that, and we even were like, "Why is he being so greedy?"
I'm back now.
You're right.
No, I'm not.
And it was partly the reason. I mean, throughout the whole time McGeady being at Sunderland, most of his goals have come from outside the box. You know, I think he's gone on runs and he's taken his goals very well, left or right foot. The game that sticks out to me, one of his first games for the club against Norwich away, came to him outside the box, left foot smashed into the corner from outside the box. Yeah, again, I remember against QPR in the Championship season, Plymouth in their League One. I could literally name them all, where he's just cut inside, left or right foot, doesn't matter, have a shot, and I remember even against Ipswich in the Championship season, we lost the game 5-2. I remember that one, and he cut in on his right foot, and he scored this incredible goal. It literally looked over everyone's head into the top corner, and you just wonder why he's not doing that now.
That's the one thing I'm hanging on tonight is you haven't won at Portman Road since 1998, so that's the one thing I'm hoping that maybe.
Jesus Christ, that's a scary stat, isn't it?
I think Kevin Phillips scored that night. It was a night game.
That's
He was the manager.
That's a nightmare. We haven't won at Portman Road, Jack, since 1998. That's a nice stat for you.
Thank you. Right,
I'm clinging on to that.
I think we aren't making the most of possession at the moment, is what I would say. And whether that comes down to us not having a crack or it comes down to a lack of creativity, I don't know. I think I would say it comes down to a lack of creativity, but yeah, sometimes at times you just think just hit it. I think McGeady, he's maybe stopped doing it, but I think McGeady's lost a little bit yard of pace. I think him getting frozen out the team and then getting the COVID break has had a bigger impact.
He likes McDonald's, doesn't he, McGeady?
Sorry?
Is he
He
McDonald's?
likes McDonald's.
Yes, he does. It was him and Maguire who was the photograph, wasn't it?
Why did he fall out? Did he fall out with Parkinson, did he? Is that why he throws him out of the team?
Go on, Matthew, you explain this one.
All right. Well, I think the thing is that picture was taken. I remember we lost 1-0 to Gillingham. Now you can imagine a journey all the way from Sunderland down to Gillingham. I mean, that's a very long journey. Them two, Maguire and McGeady, didn't even play. And that was actually McGeady's last ever appearance in the squad, matchday squad. So afterwards, on the way back up to Sunderland, they stopped at a service station, and all the players, they got off, and even Maguire, he said, "Oh, if that guy had turned the camera around and showed the other players, they were all eating KFC and McDonald's and whatever." And he said the joke of it was Maguire only had a coffee and like a McFlurry, I think, and then McGeady had like this little cheeseburger. But the thing is like, I'm not being funny. These are human beings. They've just. This is after a game, you know. I'm sure players go home after a game and order like a Domino's or something like that. You know, they're human beings as well. If they want to eat McDonald's, then that's no problem with me. I've got a problem with that.
Paul's girlfriend's once again.
Yeah, what was I saying? But the McGeady thing, how he froze him out, was weird because it was like Parkinson called him into his office and just said, like, "You're not playing anymore." That was McGeady's side of the story. He literally just called him in and went, "Oh, you're not. I don't want you here anymore. You know, you're like a negative influence on the changing room or something like that." Because McGeady, he was always a very realistic player, where he said he didn't pretend like the world was full of, you know, like, as I say, rainbows and teddy bears. You know, of all these brilliant things. He really was realistic. Honeyman, yeah, he was always realistic of what was going on, and he said, "I'm not being funny, Phil, but we've lost like every single game in October, and you want to pretend everything's all good. You know, we've just travelled down to Gillingham and got beat 1-0, defended all the way down to Gillingham with Sunderland, and we defended for like a 0-0 draw, and he wasn't happy with that. So Parkinson just went, 'Nah, mate, out you go.'" And I mean, it was ludicrous the amount of things that happened. Like McGeady wasn't even allowed to stand on a hill and watch the first team train. And it was absolutely ridiculous what he told McGeady what he couldn't do. It's ridiculous. Like, he's a human being. He's a professional footballer. He's probably the best player in the club. And why he was frozen out, I do not know. But he's been brought back in now, which is good. And McGeady's one of my favourite players. He's a great professional, I think, and he really cares about the club and just wants the club to do well. But yeah, it was so weird how that all happened. And even that McDonald's picture was just, it was blown way out of proportion.
Yeah, definitely bringing him back. Since he's come back, I think it's added a bit more to the squad. It's like having a new signing again, really.
Yeah, I mean, who would put that cross in for White? Like, no, I remember our crossing, Denver Hume's crossing. It wasn't that great. It isn't that great. I can't think of another player. He's right-footed, but I think he's great with his left foot. Left foot crosses. His left foot crosses probably the most dangerous crosses. The amount of goals we've scored from his left foot crosses, and that one against Shrewsbury, that cross, it was just perfect, just fell right onto White's head. So you just think that this player who's been setting up all these goals, I think he's got about four assists now being back in the team. You think, why wasn't this guy in the team before? He's miles better than most of the other ones. So yeah. I really don't know. And he hasn't played for the club for a year and he's still better. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Can we just quickly, before we do anything else, I'll put that on there. We go through our predictions. We've got about another 15, 20 minutes max in here. I want to get the predictions off everybody.
It's only about 5 minutes. It's only about 5 minutes.
Oh, you've got 5 minutes? Christ. I'm looking at the clock wrong. Can we get predictions quickly off everybody then? And I was going to see if anybody had any questions, but we'll leave that.
I keep getting disconnected, so I think I might just give mine, and then if I get disconnected, I get disconnected.
Yeah, fair enough. Go on.
Yeah, well, I think looking at the way both teams tend to struggle to link the midfield to attack and score goals and create chances, I was tempted to go with 0-0, but I do think we'll get a goal and we'll nick it, and I'm going to say 1-0 Sunderland, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was 0-0.
Right, go for it, Matthew. What are you going to go for?
Yeah, I agree with Jack in the sense that I can see the game easily being a 0-0 and it being completely boring. But then I can also see a game where it's going to be a frustrating 1-1 all game, but Sunderland are going to nick it in the last 5 minutes. So it's 2-1.
Right, okay. Before we go to Richard, I'll give my always overly optimistic
5-0
prediction. No, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Sunderland. I know it's a very optimistic prediction, but I'm going to go with 2-0 win. I'm going to go for another white goal, and we'll go with McGeady to get one as well. Richard, what's your prediction?
Same as you, 0-2. Does Ledbetter take your penalty still?
Yes, he can do.
Yeah.
I think he'll get one penalty, and I think White. I can't see us scoring. I think it could be 0-0 half time. I'd love to see us come out and attack you and try and get an early goal, because you know what football's like. If you do score early, you get a bit more confidence. But I think with that team, I've seen he's still obviously going to set up. So they say 4-3-3, but it'll be Jackson, the sort of lone striker, and he'll get isolated. He'll probably get frustrated. And I don't think we got enough on the bench really to change that game. So, yeah, I'm going to be really negative, and I'm going to say a 2-0 win to Sunderland. You'll all be happy with that, won't you?
Well, no, that's fair enough. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm thinking you're using the reverse psychology thing that Michael Bowers does. So you predict the loss, and then you get the win. I think
you're favourites with the bookies as well. I think if you look at the odds, I think Sunderland are definitely favourites.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. We haven't got long to wait now. We've got Greg thinks it's going to be 2-1 Sunderland. How are we, the lads? We've got Mark Bliss saying 3-1. We've got Acacia Cameron. I just want to say a big shout out to Acacia. She's such a lovely person on Twitter. Supports absolutely everybody. She's going for a 2-1 win to us. So yeah, any of them results, I'll be happy with a 1-0 win off someone's backside. Well, however it comes, if we get the 3 points, that's the main thing. But yeah, has anybody got anything else to say? If not, we'll end it there. Have you got anything you want to say, lads? No? I think Jack's gone to sleep again.
He's gone.
He's gone, isn't he? So he did predict it was going to happen, didn't he? So basically, that's it. Unless there's anything you want to say, Richard, we'll see you. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Yeah, I've seen a few fans on social media sort of wanting to lose tonight and hoping if we lose that Lambert goes. Look, I want the manager out, but I'd never say I want us to lose the game. I think it's come to something in it when you're wanting to lose games to get rid of the manager. We all want to win. We all hope on a Saturday or a midweek that you get your 3 points, and then you're a little bit happier in the morning. If we win tonight, it'll be a lot more positive. I'm not going to say there'll be fans out there saying Paul Lambert should stay, but we'll win tonight. We'll probably go back up in the playoffs, and then look, you do never know. But I'll stick for a 2-0 for you, and hopefully I'm proved wrong.
Hopefully wrong for you guys. Well, yeah. Unless there's anything else, Matthew, we'll end it there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's all good. Thank everyone for watching. How are the lads?
Yeah, you guys take care. We'll see you soon. No worries. Anytime, mate. Thank you.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.